have this student that just won't listen. How can I get this student to listen to me?
Hi, I'm Holly Storm. I help parents find more peace in the present while fostering healthy conflict resolution skills for lifelong connection.
I'm Jen Brummer with GROKtheWorld, a company specializing in nonviolent communication tools, games, and curricula. In today's video, Holly and I will explore a different way to ask the question, how can I get my student to listen to me?
So, before we offer you a reframing of this question, let's really get curious about the intentions behind the question, how can I get my students to listen? So many times when we're asking the question, how can I get students to listen? Underneath this question, our intention is really compliance. We're really asking them, how can we get our students to do what I want them to do?
And is compliance what we really want? Or is the goal to support a smooth and manageable classroom environment where students are receptive to learning?
So let's explore a reframe of this question. Instead of asking, how can I get my students to listen? What if we ask the question, how can I support my students to behave in a pro-social way? So, what we're getting to in the root of this question is how can we work with the student's nervous system so that they can advocate for their needs in a pro-social way? So, we're really looking at the nervous system rather than just the behavior. We're looking at the needs behind because the nervous system is speaking for the needs. So, let's take the example of a student that is not listening. Maybe everybody's supposed to do some specific work, and this student is going to their peers and interrupting their peers and maybe getting them to make little footballs and trying to start a football game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you do that as a kid?
Definitely. In that situation, let's have a look at some feelings and needs that might be behind it.
Okay.
Mm,
So, what might that kiddo be feeling? Oh, they might be anxious.
yeah, that sounds right.
Maybe they're frustrated about the work or
Mm,
frustrated about, I'm starting to guess needs.
yeah. What's your first need that comes to mind? I can search for it right here.
Oh, just looking for power in their world.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't get a choice about whether I'm going to be here. I don't get a choice around the work that I'm doing.
Mm,
Maybe this work isn't easy for them and they're feeling challenged, or it's too easy and they don't feel it's worth their time and they want
yeah.
a choice around how they spend their time.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe autonomy, right?
Mm,
Autonomy
yeah.
and choice.
Yes.
Hmm. Maybe resentful that
Not,
they have to be doing something that they don't want to be doing.
yeah, it could be. Or even if they wanna do it, now I'm thinking of some other, like, feelings and needs. If they wanna do it and they're just struggling with it,
Hmm.
um, let's see what other feelings come up.
Yeah. Sure.
I keep going back to that frustrated, oh, maybe discouraged.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. If they
Mm,
don't know how to ask for help or they're feeling embarrassed about asking for help, or maybe they're not sure if their friends are going to accept them, if they'll have a sense of belonging.
okay.
So maybe
Uh,
a need for belonging.
Yeah. Matter and belong.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, we've got a nice spread here already.
So maybe a need for support,
Mm,
and they just are not feeling empowered to ask for the support.
yeah.
Maybe they're even scared. Like if they experience shame at home, or if their parents tell them they're dumb or stupid, which just breaks my heart, but some
Mm,
kids do experience that,
right.
then they could legitimately feel scared to ask for help.
Bored came to mind. Do you think if they're not listening, they might
Mhm.
just be bored and want some entertainment, you know?
They could be. They could maybe it's something they already know.
Mm,
Or even if they're not getting it, then it can feel boring because they're like, well, if they're feeling discouraged, they might also feel bored because they're like, well, I'm not going to get it anyway. And so This
Yeah.
isn't even worth my time.
Mm.
So where would a teacher go from here?
I would think the next step would be to kind of match the feelings to the needs to give that extra clarity so that the student understands that their feelings are not coming from the external stimuli, but because they have an unmet need within them that needs to be met in a healthier way or in a safer way or a way that works better for everybody in the class.
So what I hear you saying is that the teacher could take this even further
Mhm.
to have really understand what feelings might be coming up for the student, what needs might match with those feelings so they have a very clear understanding for themselves, and then invite the student into a conversation outside of class
Mhm.
where they can get curious around so they're not embarrassed by their peers or anything, but they can truly get curious and the student might feel a little bit more empowered to go to that place of vulnerability
Yeah.
of actually connecting with those feelings and needs.
Perfect.
Or what happens if it's not possible for the teacher to have a conversation outside of class?
Mm.
Do you think that it's plausible for them to kind of make a guess at some of the needs and find a way to maybe proactively seed some strategies to the student for, hey, maybe not even singling out that student, but anybody in class, if you want a little extra help or um, just seeding some pro social ways that they might get some of these needs met. If this work
Mhm.
isn't connecting for you for some reason, I know help can carry a weight with peers or even with adults. So it can be
Yeah.
very challenging for a student to ask for help, especially within our power constructs.
Did you want to take a few minutes to try to match them up?
Sure.
So anxious could be related to this or it could be related to this. It all depends on the context, on the student, on the specific situation, on what's coming up in the moment.
Yeah.
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 But then once they're able to see this visually, or once the teacher's able to, look at it visually outside of class, figure out what those needs are, that's when the creativity opens up to different strategies. All right, the student isn't listening because they have all these unmet needs in this moment. What are some ways we can get them a bit more choice in their day? Maybe brainstorm different class roles. Maybe
Yeah.
help and support. There could be a buddy system going on. Maybe fun and play. We can incorporate more of the things that they really like, that they mentioned that they like outside of school. You can just play with all the different ideas that come up once these needs are made visible.
Oh, I love that so much, Jen.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
sharing
so
that.
much, Holly. Yeah. So do any of those strategies resonate with you as an educator, to those of you who are watching? Holly and I are so curious to hear your thoughts on this. We'd love for you to comment below with any other strategies that might come up for you after identifying the needs that we talked about.